It's good to be back. You haven't seen me since February, guys. I apologise. The world has changed beyond recognition. The last time you may have seen me was in Italy with Lamborghini, driving this through the Alps and drifting it on ice. But since February, I've done nothing. I've literally done nothing. As many of us have all been in the same boat in lockdown. But I'm glad to say I am back. If you've not seen me before, my name is Brad and I make silly videos on high performance cars as a plane is flying over. Hopefully you can still hear me. But please, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It's very much appreciated early on this channel so I can keep doing cool things like this. Today I'm with this. This is the Huracan Evo rear-wheel drive. And I'm going to make a slightly different video today. I'm going to take you through the spec sheet. When I was looking at the spec sheet, I was like, this is really interesting. And there's really not that many videos talking you through the true costs involved when you sit down in a dealership and start ticking boxes. So today I'm going to take you through item by item this press car, which is very generously spec'd by Lamborghini, and the price. How's it going, guys? Right, so slightly different video today. I'm going to take you through this Lamborghini Huracan Evo rear-wheel drive and just take you through the spec sheet, because Lamborghini, hopefully you can hear me okay because it's quite windy today, so apologies for any wind noise. But yeah, Lamborghini have loaned me this car for a week. They gave me the spec sheet and I thought, you know what, I'm going to make a video and go through line by line the spec sheet. Some of these options are absolutely necessary in my opinion, and I think you'd be silly not to spec them in, and I think you would very quickly, if you haven't spec'd them on the car, regret not speccing them on. So we're just going to go through this spec sheet, and because this is a press car, it's as with all press cars, they're incredibly spec'd. They like to show the car in the best possible light, and talking of light, look how good this colour looks in the sun. So this colour is called Verde Selvans. Apologies if I've mispronounced that, and that is actually the most expensive option on this car. That's 9,000, it's just under 10 grand, and that's before VAT. So here in the UK, you can typically add 20% to all these values that I'm going to quote to you. So this is before VAT. But before I go through the spec sheet, I just want to say that this car is £137,000 stock. So without ticking anything, it's 137 grand. This particular car is £185,000, and that's before VAT, don't forget. So it's nearer, what, 225-ish, if my maths serve me well, £1,000. So it's not a cheap car, and the options have really pushed up the price. So like I just said, the colour is the most expensive option here, but it's unbelievable. And trust me, I'm sure it looks great on camera. It looks okay from what I'm seeing here filming, but if you were actually stood here looking at this car, it looks unbelievable. It's actually my favourite colour on a Lamborghini at the moment, and just as the sun comes out, like, you can just see as you walk around it, it's almost changing colour. It's this metallic green and it just looks so nice. If I try to get close, I'm not sure if this is doing it, I'm sure it's not doing it justice, but you'll just have to take my word for it. It looks incredible in person, and whenever I stop off at a garage to put fuel in, or just stop anywhere really, the first thing people comment about is the colour. But if you were to spec this colour or any of Lamborghini's more premium colours, I would suggest PPFing it, because it's going to be quite costly if you get a few stone chips or scratches on this. So I think the first thing you should do is PPF it. We're just going to look at the rims as well. These are 20-inch Ford shiny black rims. These are £4,950 and they look absolutely fantastic. I love it. I love the contrast between the black and the green. It just looks so cool. And then if you want to have those brake calipers in red, that's £910. I'm giving you the exact price here, I might as well, rather than rounding it up. We just go to the rear of the car now, because you can have the diffuser and the rear bumper in gloss black, and if you do that, that's £2,499. And I think it looks really good in gloss black. I personally would do that. I think it looks fantastic. And the diffuser on the Evo is a massive evolution, hence the name Evo. On the previous gen Huracan, it's completely redesigned, and Lamborghini says it actually gives the car, through other aero tweaks as well at the front, this Evo has 5 times more downforce than the previous generation. It is, and to be honest, I've noticed it. I have driven the previous generation Evo, Huracan, and this Evo is quite noticeably more sticky. They've done a great job there. But yeah, let's go back to the spec sheet. I digress slightly. So yes, if you want the diffuser and the rear bumper in gloss black, that's £2,440. Strangely, they have another gloss black pack, which I'm guessing would do some of the smaller details around the car in a gloss black. That would be £1,350. I'm not too sure what other parts of the car are in gloss black. I'm guessing it's all the trim there along the side skirts and maybe some of the detailing up around here around the glass engine bay. But it's a bit strange that they're not just one gloss black pack and just everything is included. I guess some people would rather just have the bumper in gloss black and maybe some of the other bits left alone. I don't know, but that's Lamborghini. They do give you the option to do that. Okay, so there is a big forged composite package as well, which costs £4,510, and that basically is the interior has this marble effect, carbon fibre, and it looks incredible. We first saw it at Geneva when they revealed the Performante. The rear wing had that marble effect carbon fibre. Wasn't a big fan of it, to be honest, when I first saw it, but spending time with this car, I think it looks absolutely amazing, and it actually adds a touch of class to the interior as opposed to the more sort of raw carbon fibre, the structured carbon fibre that we're used to seeing. So I'm a huge fan of that marble carbon fibre. It's really grown on me, and I would certainly spec it in. The next item on the spec sheet is the transparent engine bonnet with LED compartment. So you can't see the LEDs in daylight, but at night the engine bay is lit up by some LEDs. You can't really even see the engine in there, I don't think, but it looks absolutely awesome. Why would you not have the glass engine bay? It's a no-brainer to me. But to do that, that will cost you £4,050. But it's a no-brainer. You have to spec that. And then we have the Evo trim Sportivo leather interior. So it's just adding some leather throughout the interior as well. I think you can find it sort of more around the sides of the doors, into the inlays in the doors and onto the dashboard as well. The embroidered, let me just open the door here so we can see the interior a bit better. So another option you can have is to, hopefully you can see it, you can have the Lamborghini emblem embroidered into the headrests of the seat, and they are £670, and they look awesome. Why you wouldn't do that? Because it adds to the theatre of the car. When you're getting into the car, it's great to be reminded, other than having that Lamborghini badge in front of you on the wheel, but it's also nice to have it up there as well, and just adds to the theatre of the car, and they just look awesome, as do these seats, and we'll get onto the seats in a second. But if you want to have the embroidered Lamborghini shield in the headrest, that's £670, and then you can also have the colour stitching on the seats as well. So all the colour stitching that goes into the centre console as well, and up onto the dashboard, and onto the door inlays as well. You can choose what colour you want that. On this particular model, as you can see, it's red. That's £640. And if you want the stitching then to come through onto the wheel, you can see it just on the inside of the wheel here, that would also cost you, that's a separate option, that's £180. And then we have the floor mats with the Huracan logo these and the red stitching as well, I'm guessing they match the door mats with whatever colour choice of stitching you've got on the seats. So the floor mats are £450. Now let's talk about these seats. These are the standard size sport seats. You can see there's the sort of a different carbon fibre effect here, but these are really comfortable, and they just look awesome. And I love the fact that you've got that Huracan Evo logo right in the middle of them. They just look so good, and you can see they've got a little bit of Alcantara down the sides, and then they're carbon fibre backed as well. But they look so cool, and I've gone for quite a long drive in this car, and I found them to be very comfortable indeed. So to spec this car with those seats, that's £5,130. And then the roof lining and A-pillars, you can have those in a nice smooth leather, and that's £760. And then you have the sound system. The sound system, you can see it all in the doors here. Forgive the face mask just hanging out of the door there. But the sound system's really cool. I haven't actually had any music on or the radio at all, because why would you when you've got a V10 singing behind you? But if you want to spec in a decent sound system, you can have the Sensinum sound system for £2,520. Cup holder, I'll just go around the other side of the car so you can see the cup holder. It's called cup holder and smoking package, yet I have no idea where the ashtray is or what lunatic would actually smoke in their Lamborghini. But they call it, let me just sit down, they call it the cup holder and smoker package, and it just, you can find the cup holder there. So on the passenger side, you just push this button here and it pops out like that. It's very nice. How cool is this interior, by the way? I just love this, look. Boop. So it's like a fighter jet, isn't it? So cool. Love it. I've had so much fun with this car. Right, anyway, so the cup holder and smoker package is £540. Right, we're back onto the outside of the car. Getting old, struggling getting in and out of these cars now. Right, so now we're just going to talk about the magneto suspension with airlift. So absolute necessary. You are a lunatic if you don't spec in nose lift on this car, because especially in the UK the roads are diabolical. I have lost count how many times I've had to switch on the nose lift just driving down some of just A roads and B roads, speed bumps, potholes. You need nose lift. Do not spec it, because you will instantly regret it, and that splitter will just get ripped off. So if you spec in the nose lift and the magneto suspension, that's £2,160. And then you have the Techno pack. It's another suspension pack, which is just under £1,600 as well. I think you have to spec both of them. You can't spec them individually. If you go for one, the other one comes with it. So really, the lifting system and the magneto suspension is what? Just over £3,500. Then you have, this is when it gets a bit strange. So now you have, see, I thought this would be actually spec'd in, sorry about the wind, hopefully you can still hear me. I thought this would be spec'd in standard, but it's not. The electric exterior mirrors, why does that not come standard? That's £720, and you have this little dial here, and you can just adjust them. Very handy. Spec them in, because if you're parking up close next to a curb, you want to be able to look across and be able to see where the curb is and not scratch those rims. So spec them in. And then this is the weird one for me, you have to spec in the radio. Some of the most basic cars on the road these days come with a radio. This doesn't. You have to spec it in. Oh, sorry, the electric mirrors, by the way, are £720, and for the radio, that's £540. So yeah, to enjoy listening to the radio and some music in your car, You have to pay for that privilege. And then the smartphone interface and connected services, that's quite pricey. It's £2,440 to have the Apple CarPlay and Google Play and whatever it's called on your Lamborghini as well, but absolutely necessary because it's very handy just plugging in your iPhone and having everything up on that center screen, because they've got quite a big screen now in the middle, and it's nice. It's very responsive. So make sure you utilize it and spec in the connected smartphone Connect. So there we have it. I'll just step back as the sun comes out and makes this color look absolutely incredible. There you have it, the Lamborghini Huracan Evo rear-wheel drive. What a car, what a spec. How would you spec yours? Write in the comments what you would and wouldn't have. Is there anything on this car that you think isn't a necessity? Okay, I know some of the things aren't a necessity. You don't have to have the red stitching on it. You don't have to have the Lamborghini embroidered into the headrest. But how would you spec it? I'm just interested to know what you would do to this car. Would you go for the red stitching on the inside? Personally, I probably would go for more of a white stitching. I think the red looks awesome, but I just think because it's all black inside, I think it would be quite nice to have a bit more of a contrast inside. But that's my own opinion, and I'm really keen to hear what your opinion on this car is as well. So write down in the comments what you think you would do with the spec of this car. What colour would you go for? Would you wrap it in something completely different? Some people like to go for more of a plain white or black and then just take it straight down to a shop and get it wrapped. But yeah, anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope that gave you some insight into how much a car like this can increase in value, or price rather. I keep saying value, I don't know why. How a car like this can increase in price just by ticking a few boxes. I've just noticed the nose lift is actually up. That's why there's a huge gap there. Well, there you go guys, the Lamborghini Huracan Evo rear-wheel drive. I hope you found this video interesting, and if you have, why is it so windy? It's mental. This is mad. Anyway, hopefully you can still hear me. If you haven't already, please click that subscribe button. It really helps this early on in the channel, and remember to click the bell notification so you know when my next video goes live. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next time.